covering the values and the underlying worldview of secularists. And as I said last week, secularism is really very pervasive now. It's really throughout the entire, not just the entire society in the US, but really the entire civilized world. The education system is pretty much taken over by secularist thoughts, and even the judicial system has been taken over by them. So it's really affecting us one way or another in our everyday life, whether you realize or not. So right now we're going to focus on that, but as a start, we'll break the class into three groups. I heard years ago an argument against death penalty. I mean, there are many arguments against it. One argument says that, specifically concerning someone who murdered someone else. The argument is this: all right, sure, this guy has already taken the life of another person, but you can't take that person's life back. You can't make him alive again. So why kill another person? You don't want one life to be taken, why you take a second life? So that was the argument. You understand that argument? So that's why they say don't have death penalty. Now there are many arguments, as I said, right? But based on this argument, discuss with your team, within your team, what is the point behind that argument? What is being revealed in that argument? And likewise, what is wrong with that argument? Think about that. Why is that? Does it make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Gianna killed Raymond, and then I killed Gianna.
Points to me.
Maybe I'm missing something.
And if I
What's the
killed
logic behind
Gianna,
that?
so then she would be dead, but I would be able to kill her.
Yeah, so like even
Oh,
though I'm gone, there's
I
another
see.
killer in the world, you know, like.
Oh, I see. I got you. I never thought of that, but that's cute.
Someone trying to kill her. Looks at her and points at this like a subliminal match.
Okay, I got you. Okay, all right. Is that the only thing you guys came up with? But for this team.
Well, I said that I felt like the death penalty it's too easy. It's like it's an easy way to opt out. I mean, like he needs to be punished. He cannot die until he knows what it means to suffer.
Okay, thank you. Okay, all right. Let's finish it. You know,
You use a Jason Todd quote and immediately move to Razak.
I know.
it's so you know, sometimes it's so rewarding to me to hear you guys, because I never thought of this kind of thinking.
It happens when you watch a lot of superhero stuff. So
See, why don't they leave?
Yeah. So what about the rest of you? The other four of you? Did you come up with something else? You know, the thinking behind this argument for it, so to speak. Right? Is there anything else you can add?
one of the flaws that me and Alexis talked about was actually kind of the opposite of Raymond. Sometimes people think that since people are against the death penalty, the person who committed the crime or like murder might not think that that jail time would be as bad in comparison to the death penalty. So if they were kept alive, then to them it's like, oh, at least they're not going to kill me. Like I'll just be in jail, but like at least I'll be alive. Yeah.
Can you rephrase it?
Like the punishment of being in jail is less than the punishment of death to them.
Okay, to them. Okay.
Yeah. So it's almost like it's worth killing that person even if they're in jail the whole time. Whereas if they kill someone and then they die, then it's not worth it to them.
It's not worth it to who?
To like the murderer.
To the murderer?
Yeah.
Like if they knew that they were going to get sentenced to death, then they might change their decision to kill somebody.
Wait, so
So if I understand you, are you saying the punishment doesn't fit for the crime?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what would fit the crime?
Yeah, it depends. I feel like it depends on the perspective of the murderer. So like, because depending on the murderer, they might not
Like their motive for
Yeah.
murder.
Okay.
Yeah, because you don't always get convicted on oh you killed somebody. They usually want to lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it depends on the case, okay. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Perspective though. Because some murderers, like, if they get sentenced to jail, they'll be like, oh, it's fine, you know. But another murderer could be like, oh no, I don't want to be in jail for the rest of my life.
Oh, depends on how the murderer himself
Yeah.
thinks too, right? Because he may say, oh, being in jail all my life is worse than just die right now.
Yeah, but sometimes it can be the opposite. Like they'll think, oh, I'd rather be in jail rather than get killed. So.
Okay, that's interesting perspective. Yeah, okay. All right,
I'm not saying that's how it always is.
let's turn to the other side. What do you see as a problem in this kind of argument? Okay, let's start with Brian's team.
Wait, what?
I mean, what would be the problem behind this argument?
The argument
Being like, oh, that's not a death penalty because this person you can't bring back to life because he's already dead. Why would you waste another life? Why would you kill another person?
well,
It saves money.
that's actually what it means. No, I'm just kidding. I think well for us we kind of went along the idea that even in the Bible it has this thing where even if you repent of your sin, that doesn't mean you get away with not having consequences.
Give me an example.
Like David. There's like 3 examples that I can.
Wait, David? Is that
King
he
David.
died? He died?
No,
He killed someone.
King David.
There's
David-
Bathsheba, and then his first son died.
And then there was the time where he called a census to find out how many fighting men, and then God sent a plague that killed a third of the people.
Yeah, okay.
So it's things like it's that idea that just because you repent, you realize you made a mistake and you're sorry for it, doesn't mean you get away with the punishment. And that's
Okay.
assuming that the person realizes that they messed up.
Okay, even better example than that is the thief on the cross, isn't it? He was not allowed to come down on the cross, but he repented. Anyway, okay, I got the point. Okay,
So that
all right,
was
so that's one argument against this thinking.
yeah.
And then what else do you?
The other thing that we came up with in a logistic sense is that right now the American jail system is overflowing with prisoners. So there's 2 options to reduce it. One is to let the people that don't really need to be in jail go and have them on parole or bail or whatever. And the other one is to get rid of the high danger ones to
Right.
make more space.
Executing them?
Yeah.
Well, there's a third option, I thought.
Cruel and unusual punishment?
No, they keep
That's
on
not
talking about building more
that's not
prisons
allowed anymore.
at our expenses. So that's, to me, a third option. Just keep building more and more until we have enough room for prisoners.
Well, see, but then the problem with that is that there's not going to be enough. There's barely enough housing. Imagine having to take all that housing space and replace them with jails.
Okay, all right, but anyway, I can see your point. Okay, what else did you guys talk about? How about the 2 ladies? Can you add to what Brian just said? What did you come up with that would be a problem to this kind of thinking?
I feel like our argument before was pretty much
I guess it adds on to what we said before. Sometimes even if you keep a person alive for murdering someone, that doesn't mean they think that they're paying for what they did.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, that's just coming back to that same perspective. Right? Okay, how about Raymond and Robin? Did you guys come up with something else? Like why is it? Yeah.
Like murdering the child and not through the.
So how is that?
I don't know.
statement against the argument. Do you guys follow me?
Wait, does he mean like if they're like Muslim and then if they believe like life after death, then like if they die, does it really matter?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay. Good. All right, because I can. Okay, I think it's like the 19 young men on the 9/11. They actually were looking forward to their death. Yeah, because they guarantee a place in paradise. Anyway, okay, that's very interesting. Go ahead.
You know, for some people, like even if you kill someone, like whether you get sometimes for some people they don't believe in an afterlife, so they're not afraid of death, especially since the death penalty forces it to be like humane.
Okay. Yeah.
So they don't fear death, and their life sucks. So life in prison would actually be better for them. So either, for them, it's either a win, it's a win-win, and you get to kill someone.
Right. Okay.
And then you get to be away from your problem.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. I think you guys have a lot of good thoughts. Yeah. You're thinking. Beyond what I can think. Right. So the reason I'm using this is to get you started thinking about secularism, believe it or not, because ultimately it has to do with how this person thinks in his worldview to cause him to make that kind of statement. All right. So let's turn your sheet over, and I hope it's not going to take a long time. I try to highlight the main points from the Q&A that I sent you. I hope some of you have read at least some of it. It's a lot of details, but it's in essence a summary format of the entire chapter. The chapter is quite long. It has more details than the Q&A, but the Q&A essentially gives you the most important points. And we don't even have time to go over all these questions. So what I'm trying to do is to highlight even a smaller subset of the Q&A. Robin, what did you like?
I feel like materialism in the present.
Materialism? Okay, what else? This should be something else too. Human beings, right? Those are the two things. If they don't believe in the existence of God, what else is left? What they can see, what they can feel, what they can touch, what they can hear. Materialism and human beings ourselves, right? So that's why I believe the argument against death penalty based on is the one that we discussed just now is based on the thinking that human value, human lives are everything, So therefore, I don't want to see this murderer, even though he did something very wrong, to be killed. Right? So that was the starting point, because human life is everything. So there's a hint of secularism in that kind of argument. How about number 2? Brian, what did you guys recommend?
John did this one.
Okay. Did you see his answer? Did you with him?
Because everyone worships something, and because a religious worldview is something that tries to answer life questions.
Okay. How about the ladies? What did you write down? Similar, right? I think you guys like when I read
that secularism tries to answer life's questions.
Right, because ultimately, whether we realize or not, we all try to answer that question. Now, people come up with different answers. For us, it will be God, only one true God. And for them, since there is no God, they have to somehow explain it some other ways anyway, right? The Big Bang theory or whatever. Evolution is the root of that. And at the end of this class, I'm going to show a few short videos, basically to try to shoot down the idea of evolution. But we'll get to that later. How about, okay, just a summary. You can and should read the rest of the details not just in the Q&A, but in the chapter as well. Yeah, the book goes through a pretty good set of research-based arguments. Now, question number 3. Why does secularism rule out creation and rely on evolution? Because, by the way, the reason I'm highlighting this is because that's the whole starting point. It says there is no God, so evolution is the starting point of everything. So that's why I want to dwell on that. Okay, so number 3, Gianna, what did you guys want that?
Because in secularism, everything is materially based. There's no room for creator, and to them, you can't measure. There's no way to measure the supernatural. So God is already ruled out as a creator because you can't observe creation. And then they rely on evolution to take out the idea that there's a supernatural being that created them.
Okay, all right. Robin, what did you guys want?
Like I wrote down like you cannot observe or measure.
Yeah, so it's similar.
Yeah. And then evolution is able to better explain everything since it can be observed.
Okay. Right. Especially the creation of life. Well, it's a one-time event, so therefore you can't really repeat it. You can't really observe it. It's already passed. You can't test it. So basically, if I may use one word to summarize the reasoning behind the support is the word science. So everything has to be measured, everything has to be proved scientifically. So that's the whole basis. It's important, to me it's important to understand this real basic concept about where they're coming from. Because with that in mind, clearly in mind, then you can see why they behave a certain way, what they're trying to prove or disprove in other people's worldview. Right? I don't want to make it very long on the basis that it can be overwhelming, it can be too long, too late. So I just want to kind of end the worksheet now, and then unless you have other questions, I'm going to show you a few short videos from our famous cold case Christianity, Jim Wallace. Okay.